David Charles Grush, a veteran and former member of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and National Reconnaissance Office, has blown the whistle on this information, speaking with several news outlets about the crafts. These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicle. He has 14 years of experience serving as an intelligence officer. Is this, we've got a non-human craft, a PSYOP? I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. People started to confide in me, approach me. I have plenty of senior former intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me that they were part of a program. So this is what Bob Lazar has been saying forever. This guy's saying that it was going on for 80 years. This is what they were talking about when all the people that were at Roswell, that were at the actual crash site and the actual claim they saw bodies, something happened and everybody told everybody, and you're playing a game of telephone, and the next thing you know, it's this wild story of bodies and little tiny caskets and, and people being silenced. But the problem is the story is very universal. When they're all telling the story, it's real similar, man. This is one day after I think it was the Roswell Daily Record.
I've heard it's hard to quantify in size. Maybe Elon can get us to Mars, maybe not. It's probably more advanced, probably more intelligent, because we are idiots. And I think anybody who viewed humanity from a long enough, more objective lens would say maybe we can just leave this trash planet alone for a little bit and we'll come back after either they have killed themselves again and regrown into something better, or when they come and visit us.
Meanwhile, that might be a 100% government-controlled organization that just promotes propaganda.
That has reportedly found wreckage of fully intact, exclusive on
the UFO question.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force? When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
The entire American public has been lied to for decades.
And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
There are programs, they're covered programs, or there are programs that you're not going to get read into. So his clearance, TSSCI, is not an uncommon one. Things, right? You have to have the clearance and then you have to have the need to know. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm fascinated to understand. It sounds like what he is saying is that the United States military is nesting that program, the program to go recover. And I would be fascinated to know how they are doing that.
But there are people that are coming forward.
But watching that, actually, for me, with my limited understanding of some of the stuff he was talking about, I have more questions. I think you might get more circular answers. If you look at the answers that he was giving, and again, I'm not trying to discount what he's saying. And I personally, like I have said many times, I think it's improbable that we're alone. He was speaking in generalities and not specifics.
What have you seen physically with your own eyes?
Well, and it's just from my understanding of how the military will compartmentalize, as all organizations who actually want to keep information, or at least delay the release of information. Compartmentalization is not a novel concept.
Well, that's what Bob Lazar said was the problem with the back engineering program. He said that science can't exist like that in a vacuum, and the propulsion experts were not allowed to talk to the metallurgists. He said if they really did have physical bodies, the people that were working on the propulsion system had no knowledge of that. And then I would think that the government would want stuff like this to come out if they were in the middle of stealing money.